Gastric cancer, also known as stomach cancer, might not be as widely discussed as other cancers, but its impact is profound and often underestimated. In the year 2025 alone, approximately 30,300 individuals in the United States were diagnosed with this disease, and tragically, over 10,780 lives were lost to it. These numbers highlight the silent but deadly nature of gastric cancer, a condition that frequently goes undetected until it's already advanced. What makes this especially concerning is that gastric cancer is often treatable when caught early, yet early detection remains a challenge because the warning signs can be subtle and easily dismissed. Many people ignore minor symptoms, attributing them to stress, aging, or dietary habits, without realizing that their bodies might be sounding the alarm. That's why recognizing the early symptoms of gastric cancer is so crucial. This guide outlines 5 early warning signs that everyone should be aware of, signs that, if taken seriously, could lead to timely medical attention and potentially save lives. The information presented here is grounded in careful medical research and clinical observation, not speculation. So whether you're concerned about your own health or someone else's, these insights are worth your attention. Sign number 1: persistent mild indigestion or heartburn. It's not uncommon to experience heartburn or indigestion after a rich or spicy meal, and in most cases, it's nothing serious. But when these symptoms become persistent, mild, and unresponsive to typical treatments, they could indicate something more concerning. Gastric cancer often begins with chronic inflammation of the stomach lining, which can feel like ongoing indigestion or acid reflux. This isn't the sharp, burning sensation that passes quickly with an antacid. Instead, it's a low-level, nagging discomfort that lingers for weeks. It might be accompanied by a sour or bitter taste in your mouth, a sensation of food moving back up your throat, especially when lying down, or bloating that doesn't resolve easily. What makes this symptom particularly dangerous is how easy it is to ignore. Most people assume it's just gastritis or something they ate. However, when indigestion shows up even on an empty stomach or wakes you up at night, it's worth taking seriously. If you're over 50 or have a family history of gastrointestinal cancers, the risk is even greater. Medical experts emphasize that new and unrelenting indigestion, especially lasting more than 3 weeks, should prompt a visit to your healthcare provider, not just for symptom relief, but for a closer look at what might be happening inside. Sign number 2: early satiety, feeling full too quickly. Another often overlooked symptom of early-stage gastric cancer is early satiety, which refers to the sensation of feeling full after eating only a small amount of food. Imagine sitting down for a meal and feeling like you've had enough after just a few bites, when just weeks ago, you could eat the whole plate. This isn't simply about appetite changes due to mood or stress. It can be a direct result of structural changes in the stomach. As cancerous growths begin to affect the stomach lining and wall, they can reduce the stomach's ability to expand during a meal. Think of the stomach like a balloon. Normally, it stretches easily as it fills with food. But if part of that balloon becomes stiff or thickened due to a tumor, it can't expand the same way. This leads to a false sense of fullness, even when the body hasn't received adequate nutrition. Many people dismiss this as a temporary issue or chalk it up to aging, but when this sensation becomes frequent, it deserves attention. It may also be accompanied by abdominal discomfort or bloating, especially after meals. Over time, early satiety can contribute to unintentional weight loss, which itself is another red flag for cancer. If you find yourself consistently unable to finish meals or dreading eating because you get full so fast, don't ignore it. It could be your body's way of signaling something serious. Sign number 3: unexplained fatigue and weakness. We all feel tired now and then from work, stress, or not getting enough sleep. But the type of fatigue associated with gastric cancer is persistent, deep, and unrelenting. It goes beyond normal tiredness. This kind of exhaustion doesn't improve with rest and can start to interfere with your daily life. What causes it? One major culprit is chronic internal bleeding from the cancerous growth, which often goes unnoticed because the bleeding is slow and not always visible. Over time, this blood loss can lead to iron deficiency anemia, where your body lacks the healthy red blood cells needed to transport oxygen effectively. The result is that you may feel short of breath while walking, weak after climbing stairs, or simply drained even after a full night of sleep. Compounding the issue is the fact that many people with gastric cancer also eat less due to discomfort or early satiety, meaning their bodies are running on even less fuel. The combination of anemia and malnutrition creates a perfect storm for debilitating fatigue. The danger here is in normalizing it. In today's fast-paced world, exhaustion is expected. But if your tiredness is getting worse, making everyday activities harder, or comes with other symptoms like paleness or dizziness, it's time to take a closer look. Sign number 4: changes in taste preferences. Our taste preferences naturally evolve over time, but when you suddenly develop strong aversions to foods you once enjoyed, it could be more than just a shift in cravings. One early and curious symptom of gastric cancer is a change in how food tastes, especially an aversion to meats, coffee, or rich foods. Many patients describe a metallic taste in their mouth or report that meat smells or tastes off, or even repulsive. This happens because the cancer can interfere with the stomach's ability to produce digestive enzymes and stomach acids, which are essential in breaking down proteins. When this process is disrupted, it not only affects digestion, but also the chemical signals sent between your gut and brain, altering your perception of flavors. These changes aren't just in your head, they're biological and rooted in how your body is reacting to the presence of cancer. Some people begin to crave blander foods or avoid eating altogether because the experience becomes unpleasant. Others might think they're just going through a phase or dealing with stress. But if your relationship with food has changed significantly and you're losing interest in meals you once loved, it could be a symptom worth exploring further. Sign number 5: mild nausea that comes and goes. Mild, recurring nausea is another early sign that can be easy to overlook. Unlike the intense, acute nausea you might feel with a stomach virus or food poisoning, the kind associated with gastric cancer is subtle, persistent, and often patterned. It's most commonly noticed in the morning, shortly after waking up, or after eating small amounts of food. You might not even throw up. It's more like a constant queasiness or an unsettled stomach that refuses to go away. This kind of nausea happens because the stomach's normal digestive processes are disrupted by inflammation, acid imbalance, or direct tumor interference. Some people find that certain smells or flavors trigger it, while others feel nauseous with no clear cause. While ginger tea, antacids, or rest might temporarily relieve the discomfort, the nausea usually returns. Over time, this symptom can make you avoid eating altogether, contributing to weight loss and further weakening your body. If you've been experiencing this type of on and off nausea for more than a few weeks, especially if it's not connected to a known condition like pregnancy, ulcers, or motion sickness, it's worth bringing up to a doctor. Let's be honest, most people don't take their health seriously until it's too late. We brush off symptoms, call it just stress, blame our diet, or tell ourselves we're just getting older. Sound familiar? That little voice saying it's probably nothing is exactly why so many cases of gastric cancer slip through the cracks until it's advanced and much harder to treat. You think a little heartburn is no big deal? That being full after a few bites is just your metabolism slowing down? That bone-deep exhaustion is just life being busy? Sure, keep telling yourself that. But here's the reality. Your body whispers before it screams. And if you ignore the whispers, don't be surprised when it's too late to silence the scream. These symptoms, persistent indigestion, unexplained fatigue, sudden aversions to food, or nausea that won't quit, they're not always dramatic, but they're real and they're worth listening to. You don't need to be paranoid. You need to be proactive. Because if you're waiting for pain to knock you off your feet before taking action, cancer might already have a head start. So ask yourself, are you really too busy to check on your own life? Too embarrassed to talk to a doctor? Or just too used to ignoring your needs? Either way, gastric cancer doesn't care. It keeps moving, whether you acknowledge it or not. Wake up. Pay attention. Take responsibility. Getting checked doesn't make you weak. It makes you smart. It makes you alive. Your health isn't something you gamble with. And if something feels off for more than a few weeks, Act like your life depends on it, because it just might. Remember, catching gastric cancer early can make all the difference. Your health is worth taking seriously, even if the symptoms seem small at first. Stay informed, stay observant, and never hesitate to speak up about changes in your body. Prevention starts with awareness.